A warm greeting. Today is Sunday, August 27, 2023. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia speaking. At the time of recording this video, it's 7:15 in the evening, local time in Cuba, and in the state of Florida, where they are preparing for the impact of what is now Tropical Storm Idalia. As forecasted, Tropical Depression Number 10 has been strengthening throughout this morning, and at 11 in the morning, the National Hurricane Center confirmed that it had become Tropical Storm Idalia. It's very important for the residents of western Cuba and also the west coast of the Florida Peninsula to closely monitor the evolution of Tropical Storm Idalia. In the afternoon today, we have seen some signs that this system could be rapidly intensifying, which could result in significant changes in the intensity forecast. One of the things that concerns us greatly is that Tropical Storm Idalia has been moving slowly over warm waters of the Caribbean Sea and has remained in this region longer than anticipated. As a result, it has had the opportunity to organize and appears to be strengthening at the moment. The longer it stays in the western Caribbean, the more time it will have to strengthen before moving northward towards Florida. This is a trend we are observing during tonight. Furthermore, the center of circulation has shifted slightly more to the east than anticipated, causing the trajectory to adjust further to the right. This could potentially bring important changes for sectors of the western Florida Peninsula. For instance, the city of Tampa and surrounding areas could be at greater risk compared to earlier today. Similarly, the Pinar del Río region, where the effects of the tropical storm will be more significant than previously forecasted. The center of circulation of Tropical Storm Idalia remains over very warm waters of the western Caribbean, and conditions are favorable for it to continue strengthening as it moves slowly over the next 24 hours. Then, as it moves north-northeast, passing just west of the Florida Peninsula, the water temperatures will remain warm, allowing for further strengthening before reaching the Florida Peninsula. We cannot rule out rapid intensification. I want to mention that one of the biggest challenges meteorologists face in terms of tropical cyclone forecasts is predicting intensity. It's one of the parameters that's most difficult to forecast, and where there's typically more error in predictions. I ask you to pay close attention to the bulletins that will be released tonight and tomorrow, to see if there will be any changes in the official forecast, especially in terms of intensity and any adjustments further to the right, closer to the western Florida Peninsula. If we zoom in a bit on the visible satellite image in this area, you can see that during the afternoon hours today, the center of circulation was exposed to the north of the stronger area of thunderstorms and precipitation. However, in the latest visible satellite images, we've observed the development of a strong band to the right and northeast of the circulation, which has begun to wrap around that center. Additionally, we have evidence of a rather intense convective cell, which is typically a sign of rapid strengthening. This is what concerns us tonight. We'll be closely monitoring the 8 p.m. bulletin and a hurricane reconnaissance plane that will be investigating the area tonight. These signs of significant strengthening are also visible in the infrared satellite, where we have areas of intense thunderstorms beginning to surround that center of circulation, also indicating significant strengthening. Right in this area, we have a buoy that we're observing, and you can see that in the past few hours, the barometric pressure has decreased significantly, and the winds have increased significantly. These are signs of significant strengthening of Tropical Storm Idalia, and we'll be attentive to the 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. bulletins to see what the National Hurricane Center indicates. Take a look at the consensus in the forecast track among the specialized models. All of them agree that over the next 24 hours, Tropical Storm Idalia will be moving very slowly through the northwest Caribbean, and then it will take a turn more towards the north and northeast, possibly affecting the Florida Big Bend region. But judging by what we're seeing in the visible satellite image, we suspect that the center of circulation has shifted a bit more to the east. This could lead to some adjustments in the track, slightly more to the right and closer to the Tampa area. It's important for the residents of Tampa and nearby cities to be attentive, as the risk has increased tonight, and there could be changes in the anticipated effects in this area. In terms of intensity, you can see that today, the models agreed that Tropical Storm Idalia should continue a strengthening process over the next 48 hours. Some of them project it as a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane, while others suggest it could approach Category 3. We're also waiting to see if this forecast undergoes any changes, should it be confirmed that Tropical Storm Idalia is intensifying faster than anticipated. Here we have the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. You can see that a tropical storm warning remains in effect for Pinar del Río in Cuba. There's also been a hurricane watch issued for a large part of the western Florida Peninsula and the Florida Big Bend region. This hurricane watch extends from the city of Fort Myers northward to Panama City. Additionally, a tropical storm watch has been issued for sectors of Cape Coral and Naples in southwest Florida. Due to the slower movement than anticipated, in the latest projection, the National Hurricane Center estimates that future Hurricane Idalia will be entering Florida on Wednesday morning. It's important to stay attentive to any changes that may arise in this track. A shift further to the right could pose greater risks to the central and southwest areas of Florida. I also wanted you to see the trends in some models. For example, here we have the GFS model. I wanted you to see the latest runs and how they've varied during the day. Today, there have been trends showing a stronger system. In the latest run, the GFS model has a Category 3 hurricane approaching the Florida Big Bend region. This is what concerns us and what we'll be closely watching starting tonight. You'll also notice that the European model maintains a similar track, near or over the Big Bend region, very much like the official National Hurricane Center track. However, it's slightly to the right of what we had yesterday. There's also a trend towards bringing this system a bit closer to Tampa and the western Florida peninsula. With the changes we've observed today, with a track slightly to the east of what was anticipated, regions like Pinar del Río will experience more significant effects. For example, the projected accumulated rainfall is now estimated at 150 to 200 millimeters for the western region of Cuba, which could lead to a significant flooding event. Similarly, tropical storm force winds could now affect areas from the Havana region to Pinar del Río, where on Monday morning and afternoon, gusts of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour could be registered. For Florida, observe the projection from the GFS model, where tropical storm force winds could affect a large part of the western, central, and northern parts of the state. This includes cities like Cape Coral, Tampa, Deltona, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Gainesville. The GFS model has a Category 3 hurricane with wind gusts potentially reaching up to 110 miles per hour, particularly where the center is making landfall. In terms of rainfall, observe the estimates from the National Hurricane Center. Between 6 to 10 inches of rain could fall in regions of the western Florida peninsula and northern sectors of the state, which could also result in a high risk of flooding. Any deviation further to the right could result in these maximum accumulations occurring in central and northern sectors of the state. Also, remember that storm surge is crucial. You can see that from the Marco Island region to Tampa, a storm surge of 2 to 4 feet is expected. North of Tampa and over the Florida Big Bend, some areas could experience a storm surge of 7 to 11 feet. This forecast is based on the most recent track marked by the National Hurricane Center, but a deviation further to the right could pose greater problems for the Tampa Bay area. Don't let your guard down and remain vigilant to the forecast and any changes that could arise over the next hours. Well, that's all for this preview of the video. The most important thing is for the residents of western Cuba and the western part of Florida to stay attentive to any changes that may arise in the forecasts from the National Hurricane Center. It's important to remain vigilant over the next few days and to prepare for a possible Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane. With that, I bid you farewell. Tomorrow morning, I'll be updating this forecast. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any content. After subscribing, remember to hit the notification bell to receive alerts when I release new videos. Until tomorrow, see you later.